You've returned to watch The Friendly. Today we will see teams that are currently at 1 win and 1 loss. A win today puts you in contention for the top 8. A loss eliminates you. So the stakes could not be higher. I mean, literally, there could be any stakes. I don't like it when people use that phrase. So why am I using it? Whatever. We're moving on. Today we're watching Bandit versus Vercingetorix, LowKey versus Pyunidae, and VirtualAdept versus Dutch. Our first match will pit Dark Poison versus Mono Fighting. Vercingetorix managed to win his last match off the back of a strong performance by Paldean Blaze Tauros. Bandit's last match was a complete sweep from Trev, but he dominated his first round with Lily. We will see whether momentum carries the day for Vercingetorix or if Bandit's troll tactics can bring him a victory. Vercingetorix starts with a Machamp, Moltres for Bandit. Bandit swaps to Toxapex to eat an incoming superpower very well, and Machamp loses some attack and defense thanks to using that move. Guts Burn takes place and Vercingetorix gets the Machamp out of the way. Great Tusk comes in. Toxic spikes on the field for Bandit, as Bandit swaps to Ting Lu. Great Tusk uses an Ice Spinner super effectively into that ground type. Gonna keep on using that for now as Ting Lu throws out some Stealth Rocks. Close combat will be enough to finish Ting Lu off. It reduces Great Tusk's defenses a bit. Moltres comes in, and a close combat will reduce that to 4% health, berserking Moltres and increasing its special attack, and that will be enough to kill the Great Tusk. Machamp, already burned, doesn't mind the toxic spikes and doesn't take much from the floating stones. Bullet Punch doesn't hurt Toxapex very much, however, so Vercingetorix going to swap to Hitmontop. That will be poisoned, and it will intimidate Toxapex as well, who recovers for about 1%. Hitmontop dances around as Slowking Galar comes in, and Hitmontop clears the field of hazards. Nice move there. Hitmontop taking a little poison damage as Machamp comes in on a Psychic. Unfortunate, that is going to kill. Slowking racks up another kill. Own Tempo prevents the Intimidate from working as Vercingetorix swaps around a bit. Psychic gonna take down the Hitmonlee as well. We have seen a lot of Psychic moves hit these fighters even when they're not primarily Psychic teams. Those coverage moves are essential. Psychic going to delete the Hitmontop. Vercingetorix down to 2 Pokemon again, but they are 2 of the more effective performing ones from previous matches. Hitmonchan lasts a Psychic at 1% health. That is not thanks to a Sash, and it lands a critical hit Thunder Punch to kill the Slowbro. Has this been enough from Hitmonchan to eliminate the Psychic type? Will Bandit's team have enough offense to beat this Paldean Blaze Tauros? Close combat means its defenses are reduced, so I'm not sure it's going to have the staying power. Baneful Bunker blocks the Raging Bull, that's going to poison it as well, but a Lumberry will cure the poison from the Tauros. Raging Bull resisted by Toxapex. I just don't see Raging Bull having the ability to get through this Toxapex, though Raging Bull does smash the light screen that Toxapex put up. That's kind of cool. Toxapex heals up to full. I just don't see how Tauros can win this fight. Eventually it's going to get poisoned, and there it is. Blocked by the Baneful Bunker. Poison ticks away at the Tauros. Close combat gonna hit Toxapex, reducing Tauros's defense even further. But this Toxapex is not about attacking, it's about stalling and walling. Tauros gonna keep on bonking off of that Baneful Bunker. The poison's not gonna increase, it's not toxic poison, but this Tauros has no way of healing itself. It's just going to slowly bleed away as Bandit's Toxapex is going to keep healing and keep shielding and just will take a while to get there. Light screen is up, probably eliciting a Raging Bull. Nope, close combat instead. The light screen doesn't actually matter to Tauros, it's a specially defensive wall. Baneful Bunker, gonna block whatever Tauros does here. The poison ticks Tauros down to 14%. 2 more turns, close combat, reducing defenses, recover, healing Toxapex, poison, ticking away at Tauros. Baneful Bunker will keep Toxapex at full, as Tauros finally does tick away from the poison, giving Bandit the victory. Vercingetorix has been eliminated from contention, and Bandit goes into the tiebreaker pool. Congratulations to Bandit. Next up, we will see LowKey versus Pyunidae, Dragon Ghost versus Electric, Dragons are resistant to electric moves, but we've seen Pyunidae's team use some dark moves, some flying moves, and some other things that turned the tide of battle in their victory against Sage, so let's see which of these teams can remain in contention for the top 8, and who will go home. Togedemaru comes out on Pyun's side as Zygarde comes out for LowKey, but LowKey swaps to Dragalge. Iron Head takes about a quarter of Dragalge's health, once again, and a Focus Blast actually lands. Not bad, but it doesn't kill Togedemaru, that thing is pretty bulky. Dragalge down to the yellow, 22%. Draco Meteor brings Togedemaru to the red, but both of them are slowly healing. Sinistcha comes in, takes an Iron Head pretty effectively. Leftovers healing Togedemaru a little as Sinistcha uses Machagacha, and that is going to critically hit and kill the Togedemaru, healing up Sinistcha a little bit. Emolga out now, probably a flying move into this grass type. Air Slash does indeed come out and hits Zygarde pretty well. Pyun going to get Deden in instead, and LowKey going to bring Goodra out only to miss a Fire Blast, but Grass Knot triggers Sap Sipper, Goodra's attack boosted. That's not really the important part, it's the immunity to the grass move that's really valuable there, Goodra being a special attacker in this case. Pyun decides to go for Pachirisu, which also avoids a Fire Blast, and Super Fang takes away half of Goodra's health. That's literally what Super Fang does, just take away half of what you've got left. So now it does half again, which is only 25%, and a Scald burns the Pachirisu. Super Fang once again, so now it's 12.5%, and a Scald will destroy the Pachirisu. Morpeko comes out and finishes the Goodra. I don't know why I said Pachirisu like that. Zygarde comes out, and Morpeko switches away out of its hangry form and into the back, as 1,000 arrows destroy Deden. Emolga comes out now, air slashing away the Zygarde. We know that deals a lot of damage because it already happened once. Zygarde down, and a critical hit Aqua Jet finishes the Emolga from full, but paralyzes Basculegion. Aqua Jet always goes first, so long as Basculegion doesn't paralyze, but Morpeko lands an Aura Wheel while in full belly form, so that's going to be electric and destroy the water type. Destroy is apparently the word of the fight. Knockoff takes the Black Sludge off of Dragalge and, more importantly, defeats Dragalge. See, I know other words. Knockoff also takes the Covert Cloak off Sinistcha, but Machagacha is going to bring Morpeko down to no health. I almost said it again. Raichu comes in, and Delmise is on the opposite side. Raichu turns to a water type and hits a Thunderbolt, but it has a Life Orb, so it's going to slowly be ticking away its own health as it deals damage. Shadow Claw enough to finish off Raichu, and LowKey will be the victor in this match, going 2-1 overall and having a chance to go into tiebreaks. Pyunidae has been defeated and will be eliminated from the tournament. Honestly, a very close match. I thought that Morpeko was going to manage to clutch up again and carry Pyun to a victory, but not quite enough speed boosts from Aura Wheel to get it outmatching everything on LowKey's team. So LowKey does take the victory, thanks in this case to her Delmise. Our third match of the day features VirtualAdept's Fairy Ice team against Dutch Fighters and Flyers. Dutch is put into a real corner in this match as fighting is weakened to Fairy and flying is weak to Ice, so it will be a difficult thing for him to overcome, but we have seen his Hawlucha go absolutely crazy before. So we will see if Dutch can overcome the odds, or if VirtualAdept's buffet of options bring him a victory. Dutch starting off with Crobat and VirtualAdept with Alchemy, which immediately swaps to Vanillux. Crobat going to taunt Vanillux, preventing it from doing anything that's not an attack. Dutch going to switch to Corviknight to eat that Blizzard, which will definitely hit thanks to the snow going on around. Vanillux just going to keep using Blizzard, which makes sense, it's a very powerful attack, especially in the snow. Slurpuff is swapped in on an Iron Head. That Rocky Helmet is going to hurt Pangoro a bit. Iron Valiant's Quark Drive boosts its speed, but a Draining Kiss will heal Slurpuff up quite a bit. VirtualAdept swaps to Alchemy, which takes a Moonblast pretty well, heals up a little with its leftovers. Another Moonblast brings Alchemy down to about a quarter health, and an Alluring Voice is going to finish off Iron Valiant, despite Alchemy's special attack being reduced. Crobat in now against Vanillux. Snow Warning happens once again as Super Fang takes half of a bite out of Vanillux. Blizzard going to finish off the Pangoro. Dutch now chooses Sirfetch'd to come in, and VirtualAdept responds with Slurpuff, resisting the close combat, and that Rocky Helmet going to continue to chip away at Dutch's team, Slurpuff being used very effectively here. Draining Kiss does not do much to Crobat, and Crobat now faces down the Cloyster. Super Fang takes a bite out of the oyster. Taunts the Cloyster so it can't do anything crazy like Shell Smash, but it's going to instead Icicle Spear, which will be super effective into Crobat and hit 3 times, killing it. Sirfetch'd also eats an Icicle Spear 3, 4, 5 times thanks to Skill Link, but close combat will finish off the Cloyster, not at full health so the Sash doesn't work. Rotom Frost comes in. Feint is going to hit the Rotom, but Thunderbolt will finish off Sirfetch'd, bringing Dutch down to 2 Pokemon. Hawlucha in for a moment, but to swap to Corviknight as Slurpuff comes in, and then Vanillux comes in. Super effective Body Press brings Vanillux down to the red, but Blizzard going to finish off Corviknight. Here comes Hawlucha. Is it faster than Vanillux? Doesn't matter. Vanillux swaps. Slurpuff also in. Swords Dance from Dutch as it turns into a fairy, and another Dutch greeting here. Toxic Poison on the Hawlucha. That's going to be a clock. Hawlucha has to go now. But close combat at 3 times attack is going to do quite a bit, meaning the White Herb will go off, which will trigger its Unburden ability, making it very fast. VirtualAdept swapping around gets the Snow up to increase his defense, but not enough for Acrobatics to not kill. Acrobatics will kill. Acrobatics will also kill Alchemy as the Toxic Poison continues to tick down. Will Hawlucha be able to kill everything in time? It looks like VirtualAdept is just switching. Switches to the Rocky Helmet. That will deal enough for Hawlucha to die due to the Toxic Poison. VirtualAdept manages to take the win thanks to that Toxic Poison combined with the Rocky Helmet Slurpuff. Very, very close. Hawlucha once again almost ran the table, but possibly due to greed from that second Swords Dance, or possibly just needing the extra damage, Dutch wasn't quite able to finish off the last Pokemon in time, succumbing to that Toxic Poison. I am shocked that Dutch's team has been eliminated. In his losses, Dutch has had very competitive matches thanks in large part to that Hawlucha, but his actual win differential in terms of Pokemon defeated to Pokemon lost is actually positive despite having 2 losses. That is quite the shame, but eliminated nonetheless is Dutch's team, and VirtualAdept will move in to the tiebreaker pool. Congratulations to Bandit, LowKey, and VirtualAdept. We will see which of you managed to get through on tiebreakers after the next video. The next video will be the last of the Swiss rounds for the friendly, in which we will also determine the top 8 and reveal the bracket stage. Stick around, it's going to be intense.